Weghorst first no terms have been agreed in between him and Manchester United, and the deal is imminent, set to happen. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that personal terms between United, or an agreement between United and Weghorst, is not a problem. Weghorst wants to come and play for Manchester United. Obviously, we are waiting for him, and I know by the end of today, something significant would have been reached at, because we are even told that Besiktas might announce the departure of Weghorst. They might announce the departure of Weghorst today. So, welcome to United Matters channel. There is a reason as to why the Glazers have been in Qatar. We now know why they've been there and whom are they willing to sell this club to. We've been told the person who is really having huge interest in really buying Manchester United. Then we are going to talk a little bit about Joao Felix. You know that Joao Felix has really done everything, crossing to Chelsea. And obviously, Fabrizio Romano has come and told us and given us the reason as to why this deal failed on the side of Manchester United, because Jorge Mendes tried a lot, but Atletico Madrid remained adamant. So, Rokan David is my name. And guys, we are left with just 100 subscribers to hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel. Continue to subscribe to this channel to it that we really reach that milestone of 10,000 subscribers. So guys, keep it this channel and don't even think of really going anywhere, because this is the source of your all updates of Manchester United. Now, Fabrizio Romano today has gone ahead and told us that Manchester United are closing on Weghorst deal. They are working on the details with Burnley and Besiktas. United have an agreement with Weghorst, and the player is pushing to join Manchester United. Conversations are very advanced as we speak right about now. So the conversations are really advanced, and you know what it means. They are advanced. They are not going to break, because by the time United will went into this deal, they had already made the permutations. We've been told by, is it Miguel Delaney, that United started to make a move for signing Weghorst in 2022. That was the 21st of December after the World Cup. They really had to talk to this player. They talked to Burnley and they made the permutations and they did the valuable calculations, and they know they have the money to go ahead and really satisfy a player known as Weghorst, because he is wanting to come to Manchester United, 30 years of age, and personal terms are not an issue between him and Manchester United. That is a player known as Weghorst. Then Fabrizio went ahead and let us know that Weghorst has already accepted the conditions presented by Manchester United. It's up to the clubs to work out a suitable deal for all parties. Now, as things stand, when you hear that he has accepted conditions presented to him by Manchester United, conditions presented to Manchester United, presented to Weghorst by Manchester United are the personal terms, agent fees, his salary per week, match bonuses, match winning bonuses. If at all he scores like 10 goals a season, what is he going to earn? Remember, Ronaldo was here. They told he put a clause in his contract that if at all he scores 20 goals, every goal he continues to score was worth £200,000. That is what Ronaldo agreed with at Manchester United, meaning that there is no reason as to why a player called Weghorst cannot go all out and put in such clauses, because he knows he's a goal machine and he can really make runs that are really going to help the likes of Bruno, Martial, Anthony, and Bruno to find him. You know, I've always told people one thing about strikers, that one striker or one player can make other players around him look better. Like you see Anthony Martial right now. He's not scoring in goals for United, but ever since he came in through, you see the flow of United in the final third improving. He sometimes receives the ball at the center line, releases a player, and obviously becomes the epitome of the commence of the attack. So this is what Weghorst is bringing to Manchester United. If I don't remember a player who played for Liverpool, I think they bought him from, was it Ajax in Netherlands, that is Luis Suarez. He came in, played like 2 seasons for Liverpool, but every player around him looked great. Do you know that even Sturridge scored close to 30 goals a season because of that single player that made him really look good? And that is the beauty of having a player up front who really makes good runs that are really inclusive in nature, to to attract and create more spaces or pockets of spaces for his fellow players. And this guy is really a clinical striker. He scores goals in tight angles. He's good in the air and on the floor. When I talk about the floor, I mean his feet. He doesn't like to play a lot with his chest. He likes to play a lot with his feet, and he has an inclusive play. He's a monster. He's a pressing monster. He will lead that line, and you guys will say, all right, Ten Hag really has an eye for a striker that he has always been needing. And there is a story I really read about how Ten Hag has been liking beasts and giants in front of his line. They told us that he had Anatovic at FC 20. Anatovic is a giant. He had Sebastian Haller at Ajax. And then he has gone ahead to talk about a player called Weghorst at United. And remember, he wanted Anatovic because Anatovic is a giant and he knows what it is when you're playing with a striker who is a giant like Weghorst or Anatovic. But this time around, the lottery has fallen on Weghorst, and he's the man that really put himself in the spotlight by scoring a brace against Argentina. I think that is the match that really gave United a thought to sign this player, because this player was available even in the summer, but United never even thought about him. You get? Because it would have been very easy if at all Ten Hag had him in mind to agree a loan deal with Burnley. It would have been very, very easy for United to agree a loan deal with this guy, but they never had him in mind. That's it. Never did they have him in mind. That's why they went in for people like Anatovic, they went in for Cody Gakpo, they went in for Benjamin Šeško, because that was what in the mind of Manchester United. But after everything that went down at the World Cup, Weghorst put himself in the shopping window, scored a brace against Argentina in just, I think we are just 7 minutes. He scored a brace, and here he is coming to Manchester United, and no one is really trying to really obstruct that apart from Besiktas. But I think everything is going to go on as planned by United and Burnley. So Fabrizio Romano via the United Stand today, he told us that Erik Ten Hag's relationship with Weghorst and the players' qualities, Erik Ten Hag's relationship with Weghorst and the players' qualities and how they differ to what United already have are factors in their pursuit of the player. Obviously, this is what I talked about Abubakar when he was being linked to Manchester United. Abubakar has qualities that no striker at United has. Being an aerial threat. His aerial prowess is out of this world. Now, you bring in Weghorst, that means you are having close to 4 ways of really scoring your opponent. It increases our goal threat in the set pieces. Secondly, we are going to see Dalot going more for crosses in the 18-yard box area of our opponents, because you'll be knowing that I have someone I'm targeting, because his runs are really great. This guy makes runs on the near post and the far post, and those 2 runs are the ones that distinguish one from an orthodox number 9 or a clinical striker from a player who is not a clinical striker. And I'm 100% believing this guy is going to start Manchester United. We are going to keep him because he's going to come in, score in goals, and Ten Hag will say, let me stay with Weghorst because he's not going to go ahead and really require a lot of playing time. I sign in another striker, whether Harry Kane or Osimhen, name it, provided it's going to be available and good at the market, because we will be really strong as Ten Hag needs 3 strikers. And these 3 strikers, he's only left with 2. And when he gets Weghorst, we'll be remaining with 1, meaning that in the summer, we'll be going in for just 1 striker who is really typical in the style of Erik Ten Hag, and that will be a deal done. Now, Mark Odegan of ESPN has told us that Weghorst is regarded as a short-term fix, and the hope within United is that after so many stopgap signings in the attack department, he will be a final temporary solution. To me, I believe he's coming in as a temporary solution, but with time, if at all he bags in those goals, Ten Hag will be convinced to tell the board, get this man on contract, because he needs a player like him. He needs a player like him because where we are going to be having very many games. Even next season, we're going to be having very many games. Champions League, UEFA Europa, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, and Carabao Cup. It's not going to be, there is not going to be time for resting. So that is what Mark Odegan has gone ahead to let us know about this deal. And he continued to let us know about a deal of this man known as Weghorst to United, that Sources have told ESPN that Weghorst could become a United player this week if negotiations involving both clubs and United, as well as the players' representatives, proceed to a swift agreement. So, this is going to happen. This is going to happen because they can't allow a player not to come to United because the player wants to come and is even willing to buy out his clothes. So it shows you how this player is dyingly wanting to come to play for Manchester United. So that is what we've been told, that a deal is going to happen this week, and more probably today, Tuesday, we might be watching the game of United versus Charlton at Old Trafford, and here we go, is produced by Fabrizio Romano. All announcement be made by Besiktas that they have finally agreed a deal with Manchester United and Burnley to see to it that they get off that player to Old Trafford. And so lastly, this is what he had to say, that is Odegaard at ESPN. Ten Hag wants an experienced centre forward, a player to offer a different option to those he already has at Old Trafford. That's it. That's it. And this is why I want this guy before the City game. If he comes in on Tuesday, if he comes in on Wednesday, he does the medical, he trains on Thursday and Friday, I want him to make the bench. I want him to make the bench. Reason being, this guy is a different striker altogether. And I believe getting in this signing gives us more chances of winning against Man City and Arsenal. Why? You'll be having a different striker altogether. He knows the Premier League. He played in the Premier League with Burnley. He knows everything. So he'll know how to really go ahead and really maneuver everything into the defender's box area of the opponent. And United will have another plan of really scoring goals. That's what Ten Hag is really thinking about, of bringing him at Old Trafford. But he's really a very wonderful player, and I know he's really going to be doing a wonderful job for a club known as Manchester United. Now we all know that a player called Joao Felix has really decided to join Chelsea because he would have loved to come to Manchester United or Arsenal, but they wouldn't make the realistic evaluation or meet the realistic evaluation by a team that signed him from Benfica at 130 million euros in 2019. That is Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid was calling in for a lot of money. Sign-on fee, 11 million pounds. 11 million euros, close to 9.5 million pounds. United said, no, we are giving you 10 million euros. So they said, we're not offering you a player. Because of being desperate, Chelsea went in through and really hijacked the deal. They've really agreed everything. And Fabrizio Romano has given us a reason as to why this deal went ahead to fail in between United and a side called Atletico Madrid. He told us that Jorge Mendes tried to change the condition on Atletico Madrid's loan for Joao Felix, but it looks like Atleti were wanting to stick to a loan fee of about or around 15 million pounds. That's what really failed this deal, and this has been all over the world, that United won't go in to sign a player known as Joao Felix because the team that really has him right now is not willing to go ahead and redo the needful. But Chelsea has gone ahead, paid all that money, and they might even include a clause. They might even include a clause to buy this player in the summer permanently of 70 million pounds. So that's all about Joao Felix. You've known it. He's off. He has gone to Chelsea. I think he'll travel to London tomorrow to undergo his medical, and obviously he'll be unveiled as a Chelsea player, I think, by Tuesday or Wednesday. Everything is going to be done and dusted, and obviously that is Joao Felix for you. But we've missed him, that's it. I would love him and Weghorst together at United, but obviously he has gone out to Chelsea. But United is going full gear in for Weghorst. Confirm to me that we aren't going to sign Joao Felix, because that means we have gone ahead to really use the money and divide it into two, yet would have really gotten it at once and put it on Joao Felix. But because our first offer was denied by Atleti, then United looked further for Weghorst, and obviously that's why we're talking about this deal. Now, lastly, let's talk about the deal of United, the takeover of United. We've been hearing stories and seeing Avram Grant in Qatar. towards the World Cup, he was in Qatar. Then after the World Cup, he was spotted in Qatar. And we were asking ourselves, who is that buyer that Avram Glazer is really talking to get the signature of a team called Manchester United? And we now have the story with you. Qatar Investments have decided to consider at least one investment in the EPL. Qatar is also considering both a full takeover or a stake in rivals, including Manchester United or Liverpool. So it shows you that they are really looking at Manchester United, Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspur. That is it. So that's the reason as to why they've been there in Qatar. Now, as things stand, we've been told here that Qatar Sports Investment has decided to consider at least one investment in the EPL. Qatar is also considering both a full takeover or a stake in rivals. So, one thing I'm really hating is thinking of an investment. I believe we want the Glazers to sell, we want the Glazers out of this club. You can't come here and convince me that the Glazers are going to stay here. We don't want them here. We want a person to buy this club. We want a person to buy this club. I don't think the Glazers are having a plan of really staying here. I want them out. We want the Glazers out because they've done more harm than good to this club of Manchester United. And we want them out. We don't want them at this club anymore. We want them thrown out because there is no reason of keeping them here at the club. What reason can you give us? It's January transfer window. We can't sign any player. Cody Gakpo, £37 million is really a deal that was supposed to be done, and Liverpool did it. Joao Felix can't be done, and you're going in for Weghorst. So that confirms to me that the Glazers are really looking for two options. If at all they are getting in an investor, they are willing to stay. And if at all they are getting a person willing to buy, they are also willing to sell the club. But I believe they should sell the club. My second thought tells me that if at all the Glazers were just trying to get in an investor, it would have been something they would have gotten done by December. To see to it that they really reinforce in January. But them showing that they don't have money to reinforce in January is a signal that they want a complete sale. So let's wait and see what's going to come out from Qatar, as they are really trying to buy Manchester United and really trying to test the waters on whether everything is possible. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Your reactions to Weghorst personal terms to United agreed. Then Joao Felix to Chelsea done. Why it really failed. Then tell us what you think about Qatar Investment. Would you welcome them as the new owners of Manchester United? That's what I had for you in here for your last video of the day. We are going to really come back tomorrow. It's a really huge day. We are going to be busy tomorrow because I know lots of Weghorst news are going to be really up and running. And this is the United Matters channel. Rock and David is my name. May the Lord bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. And I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I'm out.